because that's just how we're programmed. And then we assume that we are those things because they happen so often. It's a loop. That's all it is. It's a loop, and we have to break the loop. This is a pattern that is happening in our life. And a lot of this is unconscious, which is why we talk about reprogramming the mind. It may sound kind of crazy or woo woo or who knows, whatever, if you're not used to some terminology like that. But you are programmed. We are programmed when we came into this world. We are taught how to do things, we are told words, we are communicated to in the language that the people around us communicate in. And we absorb that information and then we implement it. And we base that as truth and fact because everybody else around us believes that. And that's how they move and that's how they talk. And we don't often question. And when we do, we're kind of shut down or told something just to be quiet or whatever it is. So when you do start to question, because things are not going right, and you should, because it's a signal. Whenever you're feeling this way, you're feeling drained, you're feeling stuck, feeling lost, you're feeling like something's missing, nothing's working for you, it is a signal. That's all it is. You're not broken. Okay? You're not fixable. I don't know any other words, but it's okay. It's just a signal is all it is. I remember that there was a time in my life where I felt like I was doing everything right. Like on the outside, it looked like everything was going well. I had all the things, but on the inside, I didn't feel the same. Why don't I feel like I'm happy? I should be if I have all these things, right? If I've done all these things. And I was talking on a recent live about the hustle culture. And at one point, I just felt drained and I stopped doing YouTube. I stopped doing the things that were good for me and I really believed in. The lifestyle changed to more of one that was draining. Although at the time I felt like those things were actually fulfilling to me in a way because they gave me a sense of peace or artificial peace and artificial joy and artificial happiness, like in the moment. But you had to pay for those things. And again, they were just temporary and artificial. You know, some things are for certain seasons in your life, but you start to rely on them and then you still feel empty inside. You're not sure what to do next at that point. Like you've done all the things and nothing's working. We're talking in absolutes now. I've tried everything. I've done everything. I'm trying so hard. There's nothing else I can do. It'll never work for me, etc., etc. This is creating a story, and we start to perpetuate it, and we continuously tell ourselves this. And this is the trap and the loop we get stuck in. It just becomes automatic because you're living regular life and you're just going and going and, one thing and the next thing, and then life happens, and then now you got to pay attention to that. And so we just get caught up in the cycle of life. It's like I said, we pay for the things that will keep us in that loop as well because we think that that's what's going to make us happy. And again, it was temporary, so, it helped during the time, but then it loses its effect. And then you're still not happy. You're still not fulfilled. Like inside, you're still seeking something. You're not quite sure what it is. Again, then you feel like you're broken. Which, is just sad. And it's hard to get out of that loop. And, I'm just sharing my story and my experience, which is why I have this channel, which is why I'm creating the resources that I'm creating, the tools that I'm creating. That's why I talk about this so often, because I know how it is to be in that. And sometimes we get sucked into it, like it's life. You're never going to have it all figured out. It's never going to be just happy all the time. Emotions are fleeting. Thoughts should be fleeting, but we hold on and attach to those things, thinking that they're going to bring us emotions. It's really just a signal. And that's all this video is about. To say that, one, you're not alone. It happens to us. The thing is, it's a signal. And you watching a video like this, you should give yourself a pat on the back because you're taking steps forward. You're starting to ask the questions. You're getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, which I know that's not fun and it's uncomfortable, so you'll never really be comfortable with it. But what you want is on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of discomfort. Okay? It's, how you do the little things is how you will do the bigger things. So stop running and start to approach and look at those things. And, you may feel what feels like fear, but that's just our interpretation. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen? What's the worst that can happen? And then if that happens, okay, then what? We have another chance. If you have breath in your lungs, you have another opportunity. We can adjust. We can learn from it. It's not going to be fun. It may be embarrassing. Some people say embarrassment is the barrier to entry to success, to whatever that thing is that you want. So you keep putting it off. You're going to keep putting off whatever that thing is you want. That those emotions, that lifestyle, that money, that success, whatever it is, the physical body you want, the look you want, you're putting it off further and further because you're running from it and you're running from the discomfort. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'll wrap it up here, I think. On the fact that, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. Embarrassment is the barrier to entry. You will have to face the fear. You do it now, or you get pushed and have to do it later, usually at the result of something ending, something detrimental, something very uncomfortable like dis-ease, medications, things like that. It will get to that point. Loss of job, loss of things. But if you start now getting uncomfortable, we can, one, build resilience and probably sometimes maybe even avoid some of those bigger issues later down the line. Because I always say it, you either jump or you get pushed. The change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. Okay, things will break down. Things will be uncomfortable. You will feel fear. You will feel afraid. You will feel sad. You cannot run from these things. And the longer you do, the more it's going to build up and the bigger it will be. So start to deal with it now a little bit at a time while you can before you have to deal with something bigger. Okay? And what I want to say to end this is a part of that, some things you can start to do to get uncomfortable is to do something different in your routine. Instead of coming home and just sitting on the couch because you feel tired, you're going to keep going. You're going to walk a little more. You're going to go ahead and do the dishes, fold the clothes. You're going to go ahead and take a little walk, put your bag down and go back outside and take a walk. Before you even go home, you're going to go to the gym or you're going to go to the park. Okay? When you go get some food, we're going to order something different than what we normally do. I know we really want that thing. We're paying the money for it. We should treat ourselves because now we're going to make excuses. Okay, how long are we going to do that for? Get uncomfortable. So now I'm going to order the burger without the bun. I don't need to order the salad. I can get my protein in. Okay, I'm a little bit at a time. Order the burger without the bun. Instead of the regular soda, I'm going to get the zero sugar soda. Okay? A little bit at a time. We don't need to jump right now. But again, when you let it build up, you're going to get pushed. So you're going to have to make the change. Or you're really going to be uncomfortable. And you're going to be living long-term uncomfortable. Okay? So this is your chance and opportunity. Again, this is a signal. Where can we make some changes? This is very important to do a life audit. I'm updating my quiz as we speak. I'm updating my quiz. I'm traveling right now, so it's going to take a little bit. But I'm updating my quiz. Once it's finished, I will let you know. And that is going to help you do a life audit. It will actually kind of do it for you and tell you where to start. Okay? So be looking out for that. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new here. But do the uncomfortable thing. Take the cold shower if you need to. Even if it's just for 10 seconds, 30 seconds. That pushes you out of your comfort zone. It makes your mind have to build that resilience and have to push past the hard thing. So now when other hard things come up, you started to build that muscle and work that muscle out to where it's not as detrimental and like you shut down like you usually do because you've been building that muscle. That's why working out and exercise actually helps you because you're building that mental strength. It's not just physical. Okay, so these are just small ways we can get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable now with the little things. It will help you. You're building that muscle. All right, but you're not stuck. This is just a pause. There's purpose in the pause. It's a signal, and this is your time and your chance to reevaluate things, make some adjustments. Okay, and sometimes it's outward, But a lot of times it can be inner work if you haven't really been doing that work. You've been running from it. You're running from those emotions because you don't want to feel them. You just don't understand what they really are. And you don't understand what it is in your body and what's happening. It's a misinterpretation. You need to understand it. Once we gain better awareness, more understanding, we shine a light on it. It's not as scary as we thought. And there's different ways we can release it. We don't always have to just cry and cry and cry and sit in the dark. Go outside and scream. Scream into a pillow. Go to a rage room. We have different options nowadays. Okay? There's different ways to start to move your body, release those emotions through different things. You will probably cry. You should cry, actually, if you haven't cried in a while. You need to let it out. It's okay. You will be okay. Stress emotions, those are temporary. They will move through. Do not attach on them. That's the thing. You've been holding on for so long. You've been attached to them for so long. And it's been misinterpreted. And so now the story that you're telling yourself, whether you consciously know it or not, because this is inside your mind, your subconscious. So this is why we need to reprogram, because those memories that you can pull up in your head and also your subconscious memories, they may not even align. They may be telling a different story. And again, it's just the interpretation of that story. So we need to be able to tap into that to reprogram it. But we have to allow those emotions. It's going to come to the surface when you start to do this work. And that's what's happening, the signal that's happening. It's stuff's coming to the surface, whether you like it or not. And you can keep suppressing it and continue to live life the way you want, which I don't think you do, especially if you're watching this video. Or we can start to make the change. So subscribe. I'm going to help you work through this. I got you. Don't worry. We got this, okay? Do the work. You got it. Give yourself grace a little bit at a time. You don't need to do everything at one time. Okay? Get you a salt bath. Relax. Okay? Regulate your nervous system. Release those emotions through different means. Write things down. Tear up the paper. Burn the paper. Write it on a piece of, on a plate. Break the plate. That type of thing. Like I said, go to a rage room if you need to let that out. Learn more about what emotions are. Look at an emotion wheel. That helped me out. Because you are not anger. You may feel angry. You may lash out and react because that's just how your body's responding in those moments. And you're not quite sure why. And you're starting to identify that, like, I'm an angry person, this and that. No, you're not. You're holding on to some emotions you need to let go. Okay. So look at the emotion wheel. Find out what's really in there inside of you. Find out how to actually feel emotions, because it's what you feel in your body. Sometimes we don't even understand what that is. We're trying to intellectualize emotions. These are feelings in your body as well. Where do you feel it in your body? You need to learn that. We were not taught these things growing up. The average person was not taught these things. So you have to learn this. Okay? And we get so upset that we weren't taught certain things. And but public school system, school systems, whatever. And again, those people didn't even know as well. They probably didn't have access as well. They don't even know the extent of a lot of this. Because a lot of people had to survive and all this other stuff. So we don't have time to be learning all that. You got to suppress your emotions and survive and just get by. But we don't want to just survive here. Okay? That's not what Born Vital is. That's my business. If you see that, that's not what that means. It means to actually be able to live life. A life of vitality. A life of fullness, of wholeness. And I believe that is your birthright. Okay? So a little bit at a time. Give yourself grace. Don't forget to breathe. Take that moment, really tap in. Love on yourself. Hug yourself. Smile at yourself in the mirror. Give yourself a high five. Okay? Be your number one fan. All right? And continue to shine on out there. Continue to spread the love. All right, y'all. Take care.